I spent parts of my life at stoplights, on hold, in waiting rooms and in lines, in traffic, at bus stops, in departure terminals. Most see these holdups as obstacles and inconveniences, but it doesn't have to be so. These times can be opportunities. It all depends on me. Sitting by wondering if the phone will ring at all. I could have missed it. Will it be what I want to hear? In time, I'll know. It just requires waiting. The first time I ever felt the grip of waiting was when I was 10, and I accidentally lit the garbage can in my room on fire, and I panicked and ran from the room as my bed ignited. And naturally, fraught with worry and fear, I watched and waited for my parents to return from work. I rehearsed my apologies, my excuses, and my pleas for mercy, all while waiting. I can also remember junior high school. I played football and needed to get picked up after school. And as dusk surrendered to night, I would watch all of my teammates leave, declining invitations for a ride. I had faith that my mother would eventually get there. So I sat and began waiting. This waiting game continued on into high school. I recall being cold, hungry, and sore. I would angrily vow to myself to marshal all of my power, to buy a car and free myself, and be the captain of my own ship. And I would leap into self-generated mock arguments with my parents, demanding my rights and liberation. But no one heard this. I would then peer down the street to see if I recognized the shape of that distant car. But I didn't, and would then return to my plot for independence. These and other grand plans were devised while waiting. My first job was selling flowers on the corner, and I can recall the time when I missed the last city bus that would have brought me home. And I looked up and down the street for about an hour. But after a while, it was obvious I would have to walk. And after waiting, I moved. I walked and thought and sang and walked and rapped and laughed all the way home. Nowadays, one thing I'm waiting for is change. I look around and see the tremendous potential out there. In my fair city of Bridgeport runs a thriving, industrious metropolitan center on the eastern seaboard. Is a shell of its former self. Through the 20s and World War II and the 60s, there was no better place to be. But factories began to close due to foreign competition or move south due to cost. Reduced to a virtual ghost town, Bridgeport is haunted by its past and threatened by its uncertain future. There's been enough promising and planning and polling and politicking. Conditions have gone from bad to worse, and no one wants to take ownership of the failure or assume responsibility for a solution. There is a way, but I feel like many who have decided to settle down here and just continue waiting. Now, one flaw I have is the checkout counter jinx. As soon as I get to the register, something will go awry. It could be the receipt paper, a faulty coupon, a product with no barcode on it. It's uncanny. But as I live, I have learned to be patient. So when I was at the store the other day and the soda bottle had no price on it, I stayed calm. And I did not mind waiting. Surely, good things come to those who wait. And as I live, I see the benefits of waiting. As the demand for the instant grows, that will continue to add value to the precious things in our lives. And over time, it will be worth the wait. In ancient Hebrew, the word hope is the same as the word wait. Maybe this is where my focus should be. Not to just wait, but to have an expectation of something positive and beneficial. I believe we'll know in time. But for now, I'm just going to wait.